time traveling, it can be really, really dangerous. I mean, you do one thing in the past and it messes up the future. And but really, we could do the same in the present. But what if every single time you go back into the past, something different happens, and when you die, you go back to the past every single time, being the only one to remember what happened. Well, that is what this show is all about. ReZero is an absolute masterpiece. No Giguk, I do not agree. Go watch his video because he does make some points, but I don't agree with him. Anyway, so you're wondering, wait, ReZero, but that's just another isekai. Have you been around? Like, we all know what the show is about, and it's been analyzed to death. But honestly, I think I have a different stance on this show because, well, it hit me very personally. And we'll get into that pretty soon. But first, let's go over the main premise. ReZero is basically a show about a young boy being transferred into another world by magical means, presumably summoned, which pretty sure that was the talent they were doing it, which we're also gonna go into. But well, the thing is, Subaru is completely and utterly average. Like, holy shit. Like, seriously, this guy, he's just completely average in every way possible. And yet he's arrogant, loud, obnoxious. So why exactly do I like this show if I dislike the main character so much? Well, that's the thing. I don't dislike Subaru. Uh, we're gonna get into this real soon, but yeah. This show is such a roller coaster of emotions for me. And we are really gonna get into this right now, starting with our main protagonist. So Subaru, also known as the main character of ReZero. I mean, look at his character design. It's all blue. Wait, what? Wait, he's not the main character? Wait, who is? Oh. Oh. Yeah, I guess I got the wrong Subaru there. My bad. Well, anyway. Yeah, looking at his design, he's just an unassuming dude. Obviously from Japan, because, I mean, look at that tracksuit. I mean, it's as Isekai as you're gonna get. I mean, Lord Isekai himself, Kirito, he never actually had a tracksuit, did he? Huh. Well, get on it, Reki Kawahara. Give Kirito a tracksuit. But yeah, I mean, this guy just screams Isekai. I mean, along with the tracksuit, his hair, his general facial expression, he just your everyman. And honestly, that works for the show. Some shows just make the character overpowered, but we should be honest here. Subaru, it's anything but, because as I already said previously, he's loud, obnoxious, arrogant, and believes that he knows better than everyone else. He believes that he deserves the ultimate adventure because he's a nerd who's read a lot of isekai. Basically, he's me. Except I like to believe I'm not as loud or obnoxious, and but those two are up for debate. But I'm definitely not arrogant. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah. Subaru is one hell of an amazing protagonist. Now, you might think, why is he so great? I mean, he's just your average isekai protagonist. Well, there's the thing. Now, we're gonna get personal in this video, so if you're not into getting emotional, you know, where you know what you can do. So, if everyone else who's capable for this is gone, then there was a time in my life where, honestly, I was Subaru. I was not comfortable with who I was. I wanted to be something better. I wanted to be like this amazing hero who would get all the girls, who would be better than everyone. Yet, I never could be. I had my talents, sure, but, well, it's just, now, of course, every kid wants that, but as a kid who was sheltered, bullied, and everything, those things might get amplified. Like, a lot. So Subaru kind of was a character like this. Show came out like what, 2013, 20. When did it show come out again? Oh my God, only a few years ago. Wow, that was. This is. Boy, I feel old. I feel very old all of a sudden, or very young, I guess. But yeah, I was living at home and I saw this show and I was like, huh, this guy is very relatable. But then I realized that he was an arrogant piece of shit at the start of the show. And I realized, oh, shit. Yeah. Honestly, but if we're talking realistically, Subaru is like the perfect protagonist for an isekai show. Someone else has made a video about this. I'll link that video in the description below as well, so you can watch that video if you haven't already. He's way bigger than me, so probably you have if you've seen this video. But just to give you a quick summary, he is basically all weeaboos. He is a complete weebass who only cares about himself and who sits at home, just shouted from the outside world, reading his manga. I mean, I know I'm like that. Now, I'm not saying that everyone is. Like, there are a lot of people who have lives outside of anime and manga, but overall, he is the representation of everything bad that the world has come to mean and everything good. Because Subaru is smart, he is somewhat athletic, he is a great tactician, but the thing is, his personality flaws get in the way of that, and even by the end of the show, they haven't fully disappeared. You know, he's still a little arrogant, still a little cocky, but really, he becomes more likable. Because, well, but another aspect that we haven't talked about is, yikes, the face you make Monday morning, am I right? But yeah, his power returned by death. Basically, yeah, it's what it says. Return by death means that when he dies, he returns to a certain set point, whether that is a guy selling apples, or a strategy meeting, or hell, even something as mundane as waking up. Seriously, that's a set point. That's a checkpoint for him. Honestly, this power was given by the jealous witch, Satella, which, if I were to say her 3 times, she'll come and get you. So, if you want isekai powers, maybe do that. Anyway, but yeah, Subaru is just... his story is so fucking traumatic for the poor kid. I mean, you might think, well, but he's an arrogant piece of shit. Yeah, but the kid's only 17! Jesus Christ! I mean, I thought I was a bit of a sadist one of the characters, but this is just ridiculous. Anyway, let's not get into that too much just yet. But yeah, anyway, Return by Death is it's just such a power that lets him just do everything over again. Now you might think, oh, that's like a video game, so just have infinite checkpoints. See, it's not that simple, because us humans have an innate fear of death. Subaru just... now you might think, oh, well, if I know I want to come back, I'm just gonna do it over and over again. No, I don't think anyone in their right mind would just jump off a cliff or stab themselves with a sword just because something goes wrong. Because, well, even if you come back, like, you're still gonna feel all the pain. You're still going to know that you died. And you have to do everything over again. The horror itself of remembering those things when no one else does is already too much for someone to bear. But then dying over and over and over and over and over again in an endless cycle, I don't think anyone can handle that. I couldn't, and if you can, great. Honestly, more power to you. You're probably a stronger person, but I don't think anyone could handle that to happen time and time again. Maybe once you could be like, holy shit, what happened? But if you know that that's gonna happen time and time again, you're going to have this face. And not just on a Monday morning. So then, what makes this guy so special? I mean, really? That's the point about him. Nothing makes him special. He's us. He's the viewer, but also he's not. He is supposed to be he's supposed to just be some average guy thrown into a situation completely beyond himself. The only reason he manages to do anything is not because he's so great, but because of the people around him helping him with this. It's because he has some pretty decent intelligence, meaning that in essence he can think of a strategy to come out on top. But if it wasn't for the other characters, which were like Ram and Amelia, and like even to a lesser extent Reinhardt and the purple hair knight, of which name I kind of forgot right now. Look, the Japanese names, alright? They're kind of difficult to pronounce sometimes. That he even just manages to win the day in the end. He managed to defeat the White Whale only because there was a knight, there were lots of knights helping him. If they weren't there, he most certainly would have fallen. Ram would have been forgotten. He might have actually been completely erased, because I don't know if the Will Smith can do that to him. Would T'Challa be able to bring someone back who has been wiped from history? Yeah, good question. And honestly, I'd like to know, but also I don't, because that means that Subaru might die permanently. And honestly, his suffering is too fun to watch not to do that. Now, no relationship in this show quite exemplifies Subaru's worst traits than with Amelia. He is obsessed with her. Kind of like how weeaboos are obsessed with their waifus. He just clings to her, and honestly, it's not healthy. Like, okay, look, I understand. When you have a crush on someone, it's usually like, you're kind of obsessed with them, you think about them a lot of the time, but that's not healthy, especially when the other person shows no clear signs that they like you back. Which, I'm sorry, but Amelia just doesn't. Well, I think that she might eventually start to like him back because, this is the show. This is still a show that's going to be pretty predictable. But he's not in love with her. He's in love with the idea of Amelia, not the actual person. Which is why I think that without even having come to know her during episode 18, he realized that he does love her, even though it just shows me that he didn't change all that much. That he's still clinging to the idea of Amelia. Every time you are in love with an idea of someone, and then you don't pay attention to the real them, you can't say you love someone when all you've been looking at is the idealized version inside of your head. And that's what Subaru's doing. His arrogance is just coming to a full-on, it's just clashing with Amelia's kind-heartedness. And now, don't get me wrong, I am not saying that Amelia is completely innocent in this. Her just pure-heartedness and, inability to tell Subaru how it is, it's just it's also just enabling him in a sense. Like, I don't even know the right word for it, but enabling sounds like a good word. this might sound like a rant, but I just feel like, and no, it's not like he should have chosen Ram. No, that we're going to get into later. But I just think that they should have gone through more time, which I actually believe the manga had, where Subaru genuinely gets to know Amelia as the person she actually is, rather than just the idea of his waifu. Also, can I just say I really love Puck. He's like one of the best characters in this show, man. Like, just look at his little face. I just he's just so smug. He's a smug. Oh wait, that's not a word. Either way, he's like just cute and really just way too smug for his own good. And Subaru can agree, he's adorable. Though speaking of Puck, anyway, yeah. Boy, when this came up, I was shocked. So I saw this huge thing. So I saw this tiny little thing, right? That could sure turn to human size. So I was like, okay, I guess it's kind of one of his magic spirits. You know, they don't have to adhere to the laws of our world. But when I saw this, being shrouded in darkness, which I just know we're gonna see its full form, like it fully, without any kind of without shadows anywhere. Cause yeah. Honestly, I hope we get to see this thing in full action, because it seems like it might actually, like, if this is just one spirit, just a regular spirit, I don't want to know what every spirit combined could do, because, yeah. We saw what it could do to Subaru without even doing a thing. Just beheaded him. Made him freeze to death. Killed Beetlejuice. And just... Sorry. I need to catch my breath. I need to catch my breath for a minute there. Whew. This thing is amazing, and another reason why I love Puck so much. Like, Jesus Christ. Because I wanted something like Puck. I want one of these things like, on my side. Like, imagine though, this thing is completely dedicated. Puck is completely dedicated to Amelia, or Leela as he calls her. Don't know where the nickname comes from, but I like it. Though there is a theory I have about Puck. I mean, he said that he would destroy the world without Amelia, right? And he seems to be familiar with the seven sins from the code, from the code. And since there are already two of them known, and Satella is likely Envy, because you know the jealous witch, Envy, pretty sure that's it. There's still four of them unaccounted for. And if I'm being honest, Puck seems rather wrathful. Maybe he's the sin of wrath from the witch's cult. I don't know. It does seem like there's some connection between him, between Satella and Amelia. Maybe there's a way to resurrect the witch, and Puck is trying to accomplish that goal. I hope not, but if it is, that will make for an excellent story. You know, near the end of the series. Although, with season 2 coming up this summer, yeah, we're probably gonna see Satella in her full form, or at least, you know, a temporary one. And I'm okay with that. If Puck turns out to be Wrath, I'd be cool with that, because it would add another layer of complexity to the show. And I am all here for that, because, you know, I love complex stories. But, yeah, speaking now, Puck is not just the only one who has an agenda. Okay, I am calling it right here. Roswell is part of the Witch's Cult. He was gone during the attack of the Mob Beasts. He was gone during the attack of the cult. Probably to have let Super grow. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Your mansion is at stake. And you're just fucking off to go scare some business? Like, what business do you even have? I mean, honestly, the guy looks like a clown. No pun intended. But he is not a clown. We saw what he could do, and a character that overpowered, plus throwing that he already had a hidden agenda, and being very creepy with Ram in the meantime. Yikes. Yeah. So basically, I feel like he is one of the sins as well. Probably pride or lust, but I feel pride makes more sense for him. Because he just seems like he's too much of a proud too proud of himself, too proud of to ever give in to defeat. And while Puck might be able to be persuaded to their side because he genuinely cares about Amelia, I don't think Roswell will be, and it might cause some conflict as well if it turns out to indeed be part of the Witch's Code between Ram and Ram. Like Ram still being loyal to Roswell, yet Ram having seen that she doesn't have to stay beholden to him, and her also hating the Witch's Code with everything she's got. But honestly, I just want to see where the story goes in season 2 because I really want to see that if I'm right about this. That essentially we've already met two of the other sins. I mean, two of them are dead. One of them is currently sealed away. So, we're probably going to see one more in the next season at least. And then next to, of course, the witch herself. Maybe all of them. And I'm really interested. Like, really interested in seeing how it develops. Because honestly, his character, he's not my favorite. I'm gonna be honest. Like his speaking pattern, it just gets annoying after a while. But really, when you're as badass as he is, that is forgivable. So yeah. Whoa. No, seriously, I just saw this and I couldn't resist putting it in somewhere. But yeah, anyway, he's definitely gonna betray the group, and this is going to happen. Not literally like this because that would be copyright, but it needs to happen. He's basically going to be Dio. Now, I ain't even gonna lie. When I first watched Rezero, I thought Ram was just a bitch. Like, I heard a few things already about the show that Ram was gonna be was very sweet and all that, but I saw Ram and I was just like, wow, what a bitch. But when you learn about the backstory, she just tries to use humor and snark to lift everyone's spirits. Sure, she uses her quote demeanor in an effective way. Honestly, I mean, let's be real here. Being a gifted child, constantly being told that that's all you are even exist for. Because knowing that had you not been that gifted, you and your sister would have been killed. Then losing that power and essentially having nothing else to show for it. Basically being completely helpless. It's yeah, I guess that would bring me to the point of kind of having a resting bitch face too. Plus the fact that she's kind of starts off as one part of just one half of a whole. Even though I feel like she's still kind of a half person because of the whole Roswell thing. I feel like if my prediction comes true about Roswell being a traitor, she's gonna develop more, and people are gonna put her here in a whole different light. I hope, because I genuinely want to like Ram. Like seriously, I like almost all other characters, so why not her? Honestly, give us more of her next season. I mean, I heard Ram is going to take a back seat in the manga, which I think is actually a good thing, because, well, because it might give Ram a chance to shine without her sister around to kind of overshadow her personality, which I'm really happy about, because, truth be told, I feel like she was way underutilized. Not much else to say here, really. She's just a simple character, but her cold demeanor does remind me of myself as well. As I said, we're gonna get emotional. Because to protect myself from bullying, a bad home environment, I too grew cold. So, which is why I want to see her develop and grow out of her shell. Because, well, she just. She. All these characters are too relatable for me. I'm sorry. Now we come to the more popular half of the duo, Rem. And suddenly, I hear tons of anime fans just rubbing their meat. But seriously, she is a pure being, all right? Like all jokes aside, and everything about her being fetishized by many people aside, she is a heck of a character. Like all the pros and the few cons that she has. She starts off being cold and dismissive, essentially being almost exactly like her sister. She puts on a mask to just try to hide herself from the world. And well, this is the most relatable one for me. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little too emotional here, but yeah, for Rem, she felt like she had no worth. No one cared about her because her parents literally told her that if Ram was that if without Ram wouldn't even be allowed to exist. Heck, it's possible that without Ram, she would not even have been born. She constantly felt like she was nothing, so she tried to learn different things to impress people, to have a place in the world. Yet it's never seemed good enough. Then during the attack on the only village, Ram's horn got cut off, and in just a moment, she felt joy. Joy that her sister could not overshadow her anymore. Joy that now maybe her parents would look at her. Joy that just maybe, she could be an equal to her sister. But that moment came at a horrible cost. Now, what would the cost be, you ask? Well, she felt she had to make up for it forever. Just, she could never allow herself to exist. She could never allow herself to be. She would put on a mask just to try and make up for that one moment of weakness. And in doing so, she destroyed herself. Her confidence was so low at the beginning of the show. She literally just tried to become her sister. She was completely subservient, cold, dismissive, just like Ram was, but without the snark to back it up. And then when Subaru came about, someone who smelled of the witch's coat, yeah, that did not end well. She lashed out at him. She just straight up killed him because she smelled the witch's coat. She hated it so much that she was willing to kill someone who so far had showed no malice towards anyone. But she knew that, or she suspected that he was going to do something. She felt it in her gut and decided to take things into her own hand. Something she would not do later, but which if she had known what would happen eventually, she would deeply regret. Because now, Rem was just, well, broken. She was too broken to think for herself. She felt like her entire life belonged to her. She just she just she just she never felt like she should be a person. She felt like she was a thing, an object, one that was only useful when, as long as her sister got something out of it. Things never changed for her, and that tends to break you. It tends to make you question whether you even live or die. Like if I died, would anyone notice? Would I? Will my parents care? My sister? Heck, would anyone even notice if I just never existed in the first place? What would have changed? Would the world be better? Would the attack on the Ulna village never have happened? Would Ram have been able to fend off the attackers? Or would it just never have happened? I mean, probably it would have, but can we be sure? mean, without if Rem was only half as powerful. So if Rem didn't exist, she might have been powerful enough to fight back and save everyone else. If only she didn't exist. That's probably what she thought. I mean, that's what I thought when I was growing up. If it didn't exist, my parents would be happy. My mom would not have been disabled. My dad, I don't know, he probably wouldn't have had to go that far as to far as he took the situation just to get by. He never committed any crimes, but he borrowed a lot of money to keep up with the demands of my mother and with the demands of 4 children, 3 with autism. And it was all because I was born, so which is why I relate to her on such a deep level. Because basically, I said that Subaru was us, but really, aside from the fact that our genders differ, Ram is basically me. Except I'm still trying to find my place. And yeah, ugh, sorry, I'm getting emotional here. But yeah, it's so this story for of her is just too tragic for me. But at least there's a happy ending for her. Subaru, in an act of bravery, puts her life above his own, which shows to her that, I mean, yeah, she feels like a burden, obviously, but her sister and Subaru both coming to her rescue, not giving up on her, and then him telling her that no, she was wrong all this time. She is worth it, damn. She is worth loving and protecting and, heck, risking your life for. It doesn't matter what happened in her past. It matters what happened in her future now. I mean, that one moment of weakness doesn't define her. It, what she does afterwards defined her. Those were not her true feelings. I mean, it's human to feel when something bad happens to someone who's overshadowed you, to sometimes feel a bit of joy. And well, honestly, I feel like everyone is guilty of that at some point, whether it's a bully or an older sibling, or heck, even a friend. If they overshadow you, sometimes you feel joy when they learn what it's like to be you. And well, I feel like Rem just perfectly exemplifies all of these. I don't think the show would have been as good as it was if Rem wasn't as complex as and as what she was, as relatable for me as she was, because it's just honestly it would probably still have been a pretty good show, but I feel like she really made it for me. And so yeah, I almost don't want to go on after this, but I'm going to, because we've still got a lot of ground to cover. Like the Queen election. Amelia is the one we are most familiar with from the candidates, and honestly, I disagree with her deeply, because true equality, I agree with that. I agree with the note of equality, but it simply isn't practical. Not at least not in the way she envisions. I understand why she wants it, because Amelia is born as a half elf with white hair, meaning that people were always going to see her as being linked to Stella, which which is a very bad thing to be. Meaning that, well, she obviously feels like everyone should be equal, but thing is, it's not attainable right now. I mean, look at our own world. Look at our own world here. Equality in our world, while people are striving for it, it's simply unattainable with the ways they're doing it. People are at each other's throats over it, and still no progress is being made. So, how is Amelia going to do this? That's my question. Like, how would she convince an entire world, or no, even just a country, or even a city, to accept everyone. Like, there's literal segregation still going on. I mean, look at the bee skin. Look at the everyone. People are just trying living their lives separately. Sorry. And I don't think they can be united. Not in the way, at least not in the way that they honestly should be. Not now, at least. I feel like she's a dreamer in a world that just isn't ready for it. Which is why I feel like her becoming queen would be something that would not be practical. And that's a sad truth. She probably will because this is a show, of course. So her becoming queen makes sense. But it's gonna take a lot to bring her dreams to fruition. Alright, let's get this bitch out of the way. Priscilla is a bitch. I'm just gonna be honest here. She is the worst. Like, holy fuck. How did she become a candidate? The dragon picked 5 random girls? I mean, all she is doing is believing that everything in the world goes her way, and so everything will be better if everyone just obeyed blindly. And I'm like, this is literally a dictator. Like, what the actual fuck? I mean, honestly, I said Amelia was unrealistic and that her goals weren't quite what the world was ready for. But this bitch would literally turn this world, or turn the country of Lagunica, into a nightmare. It would bankrupt the economy probably because she would spend all of that money that the state has on herself, and then be like, why are we poor? Well, because you're spending, you dumb bitch. And you know, I'm not watching my mouth with this, because I don't care about monetization, because I don't care about about money. But damn, this is the worst person in the entire world, at least of Rezero. I don't even think I've ever met a person this bad in real life. Heck, my roommates aren't even this bad. So yeah, this is a shit person, and if she becomes queen, Lagunica is fucked. Now Felt, I'm kind of conflicted on her. Her worldview is created by her upbringing in the slums, which makes sense. I mean, our worldview is of course created by how we were raised. But her idea of completely overthrowing the current system and having no alternative in mind, honestly, I feel like that's going to cause a lot. I mean, it'll cause essentially a complete, reset of everyone's wealth in a way, but also it'll cause short-term anarchy, which I don't think is something that she should aspire for. Especially now that she's just become queen. Like, let's be real here. I know that she doesn't really want to be, but, well, she kinda has to. I guess. Plus, this is a good chance for her to get her ideals across, but I kind of feel like her, being this unknown chosen one kind of makes a lot of sense. Like, it will make sense if she became queen eventually, but I also feel like it would cause too many problems. Now, I think I'm just being critical of them, but I'm not very much into politics anyway, so. But I do think this is interesting of the 5 candidates to just see what their ideals are and how they will later clash on, because we know season 2 and maybe even season 3 if it happens will explore these clashing ideologies, and I think this is very interesting, especially with Reinhardt being in the back there, like just looking very stoic, and honestly, yeah, this is gonna come to a head with all of these just going against each other. Probably. I'm not sure. See? Now here's a candidate. Honestly, Anastasia was raised in the same way Felt was. I mean, while Felt's ideas are heartfelt, I'll watch myself out now. But seriously, Anastasia was raised in the same way, kind of in the slums, but she just made something of herself. She abused the system so she could get on top, which shows that she is a great leader. She already shows great potential, and while she's just looking to count the kingdom among her many things, she takes good care of them, as she said. Therefore, I feel like she would actually be a pretty decent queen. Like, honestly, I feel like she is actually one of the better candidates. And if we were to have, I mean, she just has no chance because she's not a main character. She's not either the main character, or she's not the one who's mysteriously found in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, pretty much, Anastasia would be one of a hell of a queen, and she even helped Subaru to save her rival, despite it being of no real benefit to her, because if one of her rivals dies, it means less competition. But that just shows that she cares more about about safety and lack of panic than she cares about her own victory, which to me just speaks volumes of her character. She has a lot of integrity and a lot and she's one that you could actually trust. Sure, she will still look for a profit of her own, but well, who doesn't in this world? Let's be real. So yeah, now about the last candidate. Oh boy, where to begin? Well, Krush is a militarist. Plain and simple, she wants to turn Lagunica into a war nation. Essentially, probably trying to take over other countries, but I don't feel like that's the best option. But she's right somewhere. The people of Lagunica have grown soft and weak. I mean, just look at everything that's going on. If if the jealous witch ever returns, it would be logical to have someone like her on the throne who would be very logical and would see reason to deploy unit to deploy soldiers to hold her off. Although I feel like her approach might be a little too drastic sometimes because you see, because while she didn't really show anything drastic, I feel like turning it to a military state might not be too great. But overall, I feel like her approach would be one of the more realistic and down to earth ones that are among the candidates. You know, I mean, she's not peace or trying to overthrow or trying to overthrow the entire system. She's just plain and simple looking to increase their military force and make them more feared and make their citizens stronger. Honestly, between her and Anastasia, I don't know who I would pick. Probably Anastasia because I feel like she's more of the I feel like she's more down to earth and realistic about things. She doesn't really have any big goals, but I mean that would actually be better because that would mean that people's lives wouldn't change too much. As for Krush, her military presence would probably make the people very uncomfortable in the long run. So, yeah, I feel like Anastasia would be the one I would support if I were to be born in this world, of course. But then again, maybe I wouldn't have any interest in that world. Either way, that is pretty much just it for the candidates because I didn't really have much to say because, in honesty, we didn't get much time with them. I mean, maybe these characters will surprise me later with how deep they are, but for now, we just have the very base character traits. But what I would want to say about Krush that she is very honorable. She could have taken the glory for killing the White Will, but really, it was Subaru's doing. Because, well, let's be real. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have been able to take it down with his strategy. They would not have been able to take down the White Will if it wasn't for him even coming up with the idea of taking it down. So, yeah, honestly, I think I might actually support her or Anastasia because they will both make for great leaders. They have the makings of leaders already. Whereas the others are just either a spoiled brat, a kid from the slums with no experience leading anyone, and an idealistic dreamer with no real logic behind it. So yeah. Oh boy. We got pretty deep. We got pretty deep into this, but yeah, I'm not really even sure what more we could do. Like, I think I thought I was gonna make some deep video analysis of this, but I'm afraid it's not gonna happen. And wait, where is that hand coming from? Oh God, yes. I mean, we saw the season 2 trailer. We know Satella is going to appear, and let me tell you this: I think it's gonna go down in a certain way. Satella is going to be revived, probably because we at least in one timeline. But here's the: I actually believe that Satella brought Subaru to this world because he was integral in her revival, and just like Amelia was. Like, I actually feel like I think Amelia might be a vessel for her, or be in some way related to her and be needed for a ritual. And well, Subaru, and being a person from another world, would be able to change history because because Amelia was supposed to die. So you know, it makes a lot of sense for her to bring Subaru to the world. I actually feel like Roswell and Puck are also trying to kind of lead it into that direction. So it's I'm pretty sure that the two of them are going to end up being a lot more. I feel like the two of them are going to betray the rest of the group. Ram probably is going to join Roswell temporarily, and Satella is going to rise, presumably at the sacrifice of Amelia. But here's the thing: what if Stella's back? Would she bring Subaru back to life before she was resurrected ever, or even at all? I mean, if its purpose was fulfilled, why would she bring him back? Now, maybe the power works differently. Maybe the power is just automatic. Maybe she doesn't consciously bring him back every time. But I feel like she could take the power away as well if she wanted to, right? Or maybe she's gonna try to recruit him to her side, and if when he refuses, she tries to lock him up, and then he kills himself. I don't know. Honestly, I feel like the show season 2 is going to be one hell of a ride, and I cannot wait until it's summer. And until this corona situation is sorted out,